Good morning, friends. It's Sunday, the 2nd of March, 2025, and it's time for your news from dinarrecaps.com. Bruce's big call. Dinar intel Thursday night 2-27-25 was transcribed by Wiser Now and emailed to Recaps. During the call, Bruce discussed the latest updates regarding Social Security increases and possible notifications for currency exchanges. He expressed doubt that any significant developments would occur by the end of February, but remained optimistic about notifications potentially being sent out this week, with hopes for appointments starting in March. Bruce highlighted that President Trump had signed off on Nasara and Jessara, and anticipated announcements related to these initiatives and new currency developments could come soon. Additionally, he mentioned updates on bondholders accessing funds and the anticipated release of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. Bruce emphasized preparing for potential exciting news in the coming days. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. Tom welcomes back Lawrence Leopard from Equity Management Associates to discuss his new book, The Big Print: What Happened to America and How Sound Money Will Fix It, during an interview on Palisades Gold Radio dated February 28, 2025. Leopard emphasized that the U.S. monetary system began deteriorating with Nixon's abandonment of the gold standard in 1971, which led to persistent inflation and debt accumulation. He argued that sound money, including gold, silver, and Bitcoin, is essential to address these issues. Leopard highlighted how gold provides stability, while Bitcoin offers a digital solution to scarcity and divisibility, despite its volatility. The discussion touched on the impact of inflation on everyday life, with Leopard stating that government-reported inflation rates often underestimate real costs. He criticized the Federal Reserve for prioritizing debt servicing over economic fairness, creating a cycle of money printing that disproportionately affects wage earners. Political challenges in transitioning to sound money were also addressed, with Leopard suggesting that public awareness and grassroots support are necessary for systemic change. He issued a warning against complacency, indicating that the U.S. is heading towards a debt crisis unless decisive action is taken. The conversation concluded with Leopard encouraging listeners to engage with his book to understand these issues better and advocating for a future where sound money restores economic health and fairness. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. Militiaman and crew discuss Iraq Dinar news, focusing on the success of electronic money transfers and the accelerated pace of developments. They emphasize that the future is now and issue a warning regarding Forex. The report is dated 2/28/2025, and the crew includes Samson, Pompey Peter, Petra, Daytrader, Sunkist, GG, and Militiaman. Be sure to listen to the full video for all the news. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. The governor of the central bank, Ali Al-Alak, has confirmed that Iraq is now among the best countries in the world for controlling the sale of the dollar, emphasizing the transparency and accuracy of the process. Al-Alak highlighted the importance of media coverage regarding Iraq's banking achievements and the significant developments occurring within the sector. Additionally, financial advisor to the Prime Minister, Mazhar Mohammad Saleh, stated that issuing a central bank digital currency will enhance transparency and improve the national payment system, while also lowering the costs associated with paper currency. Saleh noted that the success of this initiative requires advanced technological infrastructure. The Federal Ministry of Oil has scheduled a meeting with the Ministry of Natural Resources in the Kurdistan region to discuss oil contracts and invited foreign companies involved in the region's development. Lastly, a banking expert discussed the suspension of cash withdrawals outside Iraq by the Trade Bank of Iraq, attributing it to efforts to combat currency smuggling and regulatory pressures aimed at controlling dollar flows in response to American sanctions. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. Cardano XRP Bridge goes live, a game changer for both ecosystems. Cardano and XRP Ledger now have a direct connection through the on-chain bridge. The link-up is a mutually beneficial one for native assets within both ecosystems. Cardano ADA and the XRP Ledger XRPL two leading blockchains have formed a coalition to strive for seamless interoperability. Both ecosystems have launched a new bridge connecting ADA and XRP, the native coin operating on the XRPL. TapTools, a digital wallet tracking Cardano trading, brought the attention of the crypto community to the Cardano XRP bridge. This bridge, which is now live, is facilitated by OneChain, a decentralized blockchain interoperability solution. As reported by TapTools, the Cardano XRP bridge is designed to expand interoperability and liquidity between the two networks. This technical advancement marks a massive milestone for both blockchains, representing the first time they connect via a bridge. Besides promoting interoperability and liquidity, the bridge will support DeFi adoption and enhance utility for both ADA and XRP. Historically, both communities have different technological and market positioning. However, they can now leverage the new bridge to interact in unprecedented ways. Users can utilize the bridge to transfer ADA onto the XRP ledger and vice versa. It will also increase the total value locked TVL for users exploring decentralized finance, DeFi opportunities on Cardano. This increased interoperability is crucial as the world moves swiftly toward widespread blockchain adoption. Beyond these benefits, the bridge potentially paves the way for integrating Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD as a bridged asset. It is important to note that the Cardano XRP bridge operates without centralized control, meaning users retain control over their assets without interference from a third party. Meanwhile, OneChain will help to preserve the underlying value of wrapped versions of XRP and ADA as they seamlessly interact with applications on the opposite chain. OneChain uses a distributed key generation and secure multi-party computation (MPC) mechanism to ensure assets move safely across different blockchains. Impact on ADA, XRP, and broader market. The OneChain XRP Cardano bridge will benefit Cardano and the XRP ecosystems in numerous ways. For Cardano, the bridge will help strengthen users' appeal for the blockchain as more capital flows into ADA-based DeFi platforms. Our latest report covered that the XRPL decentralized exchange has surpassed $20 billion in liquidity, highlighting XRP's expanding role in DeFi. Also, thanks to this bridge, XRP users are encouraged to explore Cardano's ecosystem more. This attention toward the network can lead to greater adoption of Cardano's native smart contracts and decentralized applications. Apps. Regarding XRP, the new bridge can unlock staking, borrowing, lending, and yield farming opportunities previously unavailable to XRP holders. The bridge can also elevate XRP's role in multi-chain ecosystems, extending its potential beyond traditional payments and remittances. For the broader market, the new bridge demonstrates that achieving a more interconnected blockchain environment is possible. It also demonstrates the growing importance of interoperability in the blockchain industry and ensures that cryptocurrencies are not isolated. BRICS confirms development of new payment systems in 2025. Brazil, which chairs the upcoming BRICS summit in 2025, confirmed that they plan on the formation of new payment systems. Under the leadership of Brazilian President Luiz Lula da Silva, the alliance will discuss alternative payment options to the US dollar. The BRICS Sherpas meeting will take the ideas forward, and the upcoming 17th summit could see massive changes in the way the bloc operates and settles cross-border transactions. The move could lead to a paradigm shift in global trade and tilt the financial powers from the West to the East. Developing countries are looking to cut ties with the US dollar and strengthen their local currencies in the forex markets. The US dollar is in the crosshairs of a major shift that could pave the way for native currencies to take the driver's seat of the financial markets. Brazil's President Luiz Lula da Silva made a strong statement saying that BRICS will continue advancing the de-dollarization agenda. The president also added that under their leadership, BRICS will work towards developing new payment systems as an alternative to the US dollar. Brazil is going during the period of its presidency to fully develop transparent and safe payment systems, he said. The bloc will work towards launching safe payment systems to uplift their GDP and strengthen their native economies. The move will give a boost in the arm to their local currencies, making businesses thrive. The next BRICS summit is scheduled to be held in Brazil's Rio de Janeiro on July 6th and 7th. All the 9 member countries will meet at the summit and discuss policies and sign new trade deals. Details on the new payment systems could be revealed at the 17th summit in July this year. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. Kurdistan banks will take their share of sanctions. Economic shows the reasons. Economic expert Hevidar Shaban announced today, Thursday, 27th of February 2025, the reasons for U.S. sanctions imposed on several banks in the Kurdistan region. Shaban explained in an interview with Baghdad Today that the sanctions are part of a coordination effort between the U.S. Treasury and the Central Bank of Iraq, targeting banks involved in the accounting project for employee salaries in Kurdistan. The goal is to control currency smuggling, money laundering, illegal dealings, and the organizational structures of banks in the region. Earlier this month, it was reported that the Central Bank of Iraq would prevent 5 local banks from dealing in dollars at the request of the U.S. Treasury due to significant cash violations and dollar smuggling outside the country. In a related context, the launch of a digital currency by the Central Bank of Iraq was discussed by economic specialist Nawar al-Saadi on the same day. Al-Saadi highlighted that while the digital currency initiative has great potential benefits, such as more efficient electronic payments and reduced reliance on cash, it also comes with risks. The transition to digital currency must be managed carefully to avoid issues such as money laundering, challenges in stability, and vulnerabilities to cyber attacks. Governor of the central bank Ali Al-Ala confirmed the plan to create a digital currency to replace paper currencies, indicating significant changes in the financial and banking system are imminent as part of a broader digital transformation agenda. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. Note, all intel should be considered as rumors until we receive official announcements, and rates and dates could change anytime until we get to the bank's redemption centers. RV excerpts from the Restored Republic via a GCR. Update as of Sat Fert March 2025, compiled by Judy Byington. The system of control is being obliterated. Debt forgiveness is underway. Illegitimate loans, mortgages, and credit card debts are allegedly being wiped clean. The fraudulent banking system is allegedly over. The Federal Reserve is collapsing. The private banking cartel that controlled America since 1913 is being allegedly absorbed into the U.S. Treasury. Trillions in stolen wealth seized. Offshore accounts, hidden trusts, and gold reserves are being allegedly taken from the deep state and returned to the people. The IRS is being abolished. The corrupt tax system that drained Americans for decades is finished. A new fair tax system is alleged being introduced. Gold-backed currency is coming. The fiat dollar is allegedly dead. The new U.S. Treasury-backed currency will restore economic stability and transparency. The quantum financial system, QFS, is online. A new, unhackable, transparent financial system is in place, ensuring no more manipulation by elites. The deep state is in panic mode. Their last moves are exposed. They are allegedly trying to crash the markets, but Trump's team anticipated it. They are allegedly funding cyber attacks on QFS, but the system is unbreakable. The deep state is allegedly out of time. Jassara is about to be allegedly fully unleashed. On Friday, 28th of February 2025, QFS Information Center stated that the quantum financial system is here and the elites are panicking. A total shift from fiat to asset-backed currency is unfolding. If you've acquired foreign currencies like Iraqi dinar, Vietnamese dong, or Zimbabwe zim, anticipating revaluation, you may be on the list for redemption. Regarding Tier 4B, this is the moment many have been waiting for. The quantum financial system ensures every transaction is fully traceable, hack-proof, and immune to manipulation. This is why central banks are scrambling. They cannot reconcile their old money into QFS. Jassara is about releasing trillions back to the people, as governments worldwide are suddenly talking about restructuring debt. They know the game is up. For those holding foreign currencies, a call to redemption centers to exchange them at new rates may occur, although this will not be publicly advertised. It is advised to remain vigilant as the global financial war is peaking and the window for action is closing rapidly. Furthermore, Frank 26 emphasized that oil is now being paid in Iraqi dinars, and sanctions being imposed by Trump will target Iraqi groups and militias rather than Iraqi banks or government entities. Lastly, EduMatrix provided informative guidance on how to audit Iraqi dinar banknotes to avoid counterfeit currency. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. Weekend Coffee with Mark Z aired on March 1st, 2025, featuring updates and discussions on various topics by Mark Z and members. Highlights included updates on bond payments, potential currency revaluations, ceasefire announcements in Iraq, and the introduction of a digital currency in Sudan. Mark Z emphasized that opinions shared during the call are personal and advised members to consult professionals for financial decisions. They looked ahead to potential currency resets and anticipated breaking news over the weekend. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. Russia wants to reverse de-dollarization, what it means for the US dollar. The US dollar has always been surrounded by serious foes and enemies, the ones that want to derail its reserve currency status. To expedite the de-dollarization concept, Russia and China have always been quite vocal about their ideas, adding how they both want to derail the US dollar hegemony by putting forth the idea of the multipolar currency world. This roughly sparked the promotion of local currencies on an international scale, jeopardizing the dollar's supremacy. With the US and EU sanctioning Russia and expelling it out of the SWIFT system, Russia opted for yuan, all while promoting the narrative of de-dollarization at a rapid pace. But now it seems that things have started to take an interesting turn, with Russia showing a softening stance against the US. What is this all about? Let's find out. Tables turning around, Trump supporting Russia, with Donald Trump assuming the role of the US president. His ideas of bolstering the US economy via tariffs have been gaining widespread momentum. Apart from that, another significant development that has caught the world's attention is Trump's increased effort to conclude the ongoing Ukraine-Russia war. The US president has often been noted stating the gruesome repercussions of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, adding that Zelensky should have made a deal to end the war earlier, showing a supportive stance towards Russia. I hear that they're upset about not having a seat. Well, they've had a seat for 3 years and a long time before that. This could have been settled very easily. Russia wants to do something. They want to stop the savage barbarism. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal. I could have made a deal for Ukraine. That would have given them almost all of the land, everything. Almost all of the land. And no people would have been killed and no city would have been demolished. Trump earlier shared how he has the power to end the war. I think I have the power to end this war, he added. De-dollarization. To end, Russia praises Trump. On the other hand, Russian PM Vladimir Putin has notably praised Trump's effort to resolve the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. Let me note that the first contacts with the American administration instill hope. They too are willing to work towards resuming our ties, solving a colossal amount of strategic problems in world architecture. In addition to this, Putin also acknowledged how certain external forces are trying to disrupt the budding Russian-US sense of friendship and commitment. I understand that not everybody is pleased with the resumption of Russian-American contacts. Some of the forces are interested in keeping hostilities, and they will try to disrupt the emerging dialogue. We will need to use all the possibilities of diplomacy and special forces to firmly defend our national interests. With such developments taking place, the Russia-US fostering relationship could ultimately result in a lasting resolution, thwarting BRICS' efforts of derailing the US dollar. This development can ultimately put a stop to the rising de-dollarization concepts and ideations. Russia delays digital ruble CBDC rollout. A year ago, the Bank of Russia set July 2025 as the date for the first launch phase of its digital ruble central bank digital currency, CBDC. Now the central bank is delaying the rollout. It follows resistance from merchants, a major banking association, and its largest bank, Sber. The big bank was excluded from the first wave of banks involved in the pilot, so it only joined this January, a year later than planned. Perhaps its inclusion was delayed to avoid it dominating trials, but that's speculation. The reality is that 6 months from the first pilot to launch is rather short for a bank. Central Bank Governor Elvira Nabiullina announced the delay at a meeting with the Association of Russian Banks, ASROS. However, she said that the pilots are progressing well. Our intention is to move on to the mass implementation of the digital ruble somewhat later than originally planned, namely after we have worked out all the details in the pilot and held consultations with banks on the economic model that is most attractive to their clients, for businesses, for people, the governor said, as reported by the association. The central bank first shared details about the planned business model late last year. A new schedule has not yet been set, and the central bank did not mention the delay on its website. However, the launch postponement was also reported by the Interfax news agency. Digital ruble addressing bank concerns. When banks raised their concerns in the State Duma in December, they highlighted several issues. The main ones were worries about deposit outflows and the costs of implementation. On the first point, from the start, the central bank has appeared unconcerned about this impact. This may be partly because it plans a three-phase rollout. Initially, larger banks and merchants will join, followed by other banks and mid-sized merchants. The final phase will require non-bank providers and all merchants to participate, but that will be 2 years later. Regarding the expense, the Banking Association estimated the cost to a bank could be up to rubles 100 million, $1.1 million. The central bank says it will provide some technical elements to banks free of charge to help smaller banks. For those components that are mandatory from the point of view of information security, we will provide these solutions to banks free of charge. This software module for embedding is created and transferred to organizations and in 3 different forms so that banks can choose the most optimal one for their landscape, said Deputy Governor of the Bank of Russia, Zulfiya Kakhrumanova. We provide free cryptographic information protection tools for subordinate certification centers that are deployed by banks, and this is also a significant cost aspect for banks, she added, according to Interfax. Arizona approves Bitcoin reserves, but Wyoming and Montana are saying no. Here's why Arizona advances crypto legislation. 2 bills, one establishing a digital asset reserve and another focused on Bitcoin investment. While Arizona embraces crypto reserves, other states like Wyoming and Montana are rejecting them due to volatility concerns. Arizona is pushing ahead with cryptocurrency investment as 2 Bitcoin reserve bills have passed the Senate, setting the stage for final approval in the state's House of Representatives. If these bills pass in the state's House of Representatives, Arizona could become one of the first states to officially hold Bitcoin in its reserves. Senate approves Bitcoin reserve bills. On February 27th, the Arizona Senate approved the Strategic Digital Assets Reserve Bill, SB 1373, in a 17-12 vote, sending it to the House for final approval. Sponsored by Republican Senator Mark Fincham, the bill aims to create a Digital Assets Strategic Reserve Fund, which will be managed by the state treasurer. The fund will include legislative appropriations and crypto assets seized by the state. To limit risk, the treasurer would be allowed to invest no more than 10% of total fund deposits per fiscal year. However, the state could loan out digital assets to generate returns as long as it doesn't add financial risk. Another bill aims to allow Bitcoin investments. A second Bitcoin-related bill is also moving forward. The Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Act, SB 25, co-sponsored by Republican Senator Wendy Rogers and Representative Jeff Wenninger, passed the Senate with a 17-11 vote. Unlike Fincham's bill, which focuses on managing seized crypto assets, SB 1025 allows the state to invest public funds directly into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. This signals Arizona's growing commitment to incorporating digital assets into its financial strategy. Crypto legislation gaining momentum. Nationwide, Dennis Porter, founder of Satoshi Action Fund, believes federal regulation of cryptocurrencies is inevitable. He predicts lawmakers will first regulate stablecoins, followed by broader market structure rules, and eventually Bitcoin reserves. While Arizona and Utah are leading the push for crypto reserves, 18 other states are still waiting for approval. However, not all states are on board. Montana, Wyoming, and others have rejected similar plans, calling Bitcoin too risky. Trump weighs heavy on the markets. Despite increasing political support for crypto, Bitcoin's price has taken a hit. The asset dropped below $80K, and analysts fear it could fall further to 70K to 75K. Bitcoin is down 17% this week, with Trump's tariff policies adding to market uncertainty. Amid the panic, Michael Saylor jokingly told investors to sell a kidney if you must, but keep the Bitcoin. While Saylor continues to advocate for a U.S. Bitcoin reserve, the recent price drop has given skeptics more reason to doubt Bitcoin's long-term stability. Bitcoin not fit for Swiss National Bank reserves, says President. The Swiss National Bank president dismissed the idea of holding Bitcoin in reserves due to volatility, liquidity concerns, and security risks. The SNB views cryptocurrencies as a small, volatile, niche phenomenon unsuitable for central bank reserves. A Swiss initiative is pushing for a public vote to mandate the SNB to include Bitcoin in its reserves. And this ends this report. Here's our next report from dinarrecaps.com. An analysis has detailed the reasons for the fluctuations of the Iraqi dinar exchange rate against the US dollar over the past 21 years, attributing them to both internal and external factors. The Iraq Future Foundation for Economic Studies and Consultations highlighted that the exchange rate has been significantly influenced by variables such as political, legislative, and economic conditions. The Foundation's analysis indicates that supply and demand were the predominant factors affecting the exchange rate, noting a pattern that varies throughout the year. The months of December, August, and June were identified as having the highest values for the dinar, while May featured the least decline. The report emphasizes that despite identifiable seasonal trends, other influences such as central bank policies and geopolitical events also play crucial roles in determining currency value. Additionally, Governor of the Central Bank, Ali al-Alaq, stated that Iraq excels in controlling dollar sales, with processes in place that are transparent and efficient. He urged that the advancements made should be recognized in media to enhance international confidence in Iraq's banking sector. And this ends this report. Here is our next report from dinarrecaps.com. Something unprecedented is happening with gold. A gold monetary reset is happening now. According to Awaken 3D, gold is reclaiming its role in the financial system, marking a shift not seen in over 5 decades. This monetary shift indicates that for the first time since 1971, gold is no longer only a hedge against inflation, but is at the center of a financial transformation that could redefine the global monetary system. The stability of a debt-driven economy is being challenged, with significant implications looming. Historically, this shift may be traced back to August 15, 1971, when President Nixon suspended the dollar's convertibility into gold, initiating a purely debt-based monetary system that may now be at a breaking point. Current trends, with central banks purchasing unprecedented amounts of gold, suggest that gold's relevance is increasing as confidence in fiat currencies wanes. The disconnect between gold and other financial assets signals that gold could soon break free from its artificial suppression. Central banks are buying gold at record levels, and various economic indicators show that a renewed focus on gold's monetary dominance may be on the horizon. This developmental phase highlights that we may be witnessing a global transition towards a gold-based monetary system, with suggestions that the current financial structure is crumbling, prompting a revisit of gold's historic role as a stable monetary asset. And that ends all the news from dinarrecaps.com. We hope this brings value to your day. If so, please like and subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified when our reports are uploaded. Thank you for joining us, and have a great Sunday.